everybody.
Welcome back
to a new episode of Toytography magazine. We're here to have some fun. I know it's like the day before the holiday, at least within the U.S. So I figured let's go ahead and let's have some fun and have another episode to share and spend it with you guys. This is going to be a awesome show, an amazing show. Just to let you guys know, we have Dan with us. And from Dan's Toy Box, as usual, he's going to be jumping in and helping us out and having a lot of fun as usual. And we have a special guest. Oh my gosh, it's so
the man, the myth,
yes.
You guys are too much. Stop it.
Yeah, Jesse Feyereisen, how you doing, sir? It's great to see
you guys.
You.
Oh man, it's so great to be here. Good to see you, Brian. Good to see you, Dan. What an honor it is to be here. I know you guys just started the show last week. I watched it almost twice because I had to review it and stuff, and there's so much good action on there. Man, I'm just so happy to be here. This is great.
Yes, yeah, it was great, man. I have to say I was pretty excited when we talked about it, because for those of you who don't know, the current issue that's going on right now is actually on the cover. So nice. Yeah, we did a full article with Jesse, and man, we had such a good time talking and had fun and all that kind of stuff. So it's like this is kind of like our little piece of just kind of keep the conversation going,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Brian made the right idea too, to keep it on the Wednesday night slot even though it's a holiday week. Right. We talked about having it on Thanksgiving, because we knew we'd have a captive audience, but we also realized that tryptophan and us don't mix, so we didn't want to have to fight with turkey and do
true. Right. Yes. Totally. Yeah, so we figured like good time. Plus, we don't want anybody getting on, grease on the computer and everything, because they're getting all excited from all the stuff. Everything. So yes.
Everywhere.
Let me see. Let's see if I can set this up over here to share with you guys. Because before we get started with any of this stuff, we definitely have to give some shout outs to some people who are really helping to keep this going. So definitely want to mention some folks here. So let's go ahead and let's pull these guys up. So yeah, we definitely want to give a shout to Jazz Inc. They have a pre-order currently going on right now for the new Catwoman figure, which, oh my gosh, it just looks.
Look at that.
Yeah. I mean the details that Yost actually puts into these figures all the time. It is just absolutely amazing to see this. So he's taking pre-orders right now. There's actually 3 different versions of this guy. So we have he's doing pre-orders for just like a regular version of him. Of Michelle Pfeiffer as a Catwoman. And then there's I believe there's 2 different versions. There's the clean version, and then you have the battle damage of her outfit, like towards the end of the movie. And there's also this deluxe set that you will get, which you can get both the clean outfit and the battle damage and this cool looking diorama. I have to say the detail that Jazz Inc. puts into their products is like this. It's unmatched. I mean, really, it's the amount of detail they put in, the amount of care and love they put into their products. You're getting something good when you get it. So absolutely, and this is definitely a cool product. So definitely, if you go to jazzincdioramas.com, you can get your pre-order in now for that. We also want to give props to these guys, right? Odd Frog Entertainment, they are working on this car called the Bandito. It's a 1/12 scale car and totally customizable. So how you see it, that's just how it comes in the package, but you can totally get other pieces and stuff like that to add extra things to it. So they're taking pre-orders right now. You can go to oddfrogentertainment.com and go ahead and get your pre-order. They're also getting the pre-orders for the lowrider version, the lowrider edition of this car. So yeah, I've already seen the thing, and I mean, it just absolutely looks amazing. So you can go ahead and again go to Odd Frog Entertainment, get your pre-order there. You can also go to Nerdzoic, which is also another sponsor for our magazine. So definitely want to give props to Nerdzoic. So you can pre-order the Bandito there, as well as other cool products that he has, and definitely 1/6 Kit. I mean, oh my gosh, they have just some amazing stuff that you can get from them. I a lot of times go to 1/6 Kit for the hard to find stuff. And kind of sometimes I do it if I want to get some stuff first. This kid, but he's definitely, I mean, it's a trusted seller, trusted business, absolutely amazing. So definitely, if you want to go to 16kit.com, you can get some cool items from there. Oh, I got mine. Yeah, I threw him this little guy. I always show my flip hop right there. So yeah, so those are our sponsors for the group. So yeah, we always want to show our appreciation for these guys. So yeah, absolutely want to show some love to them. And so now we're going to move on to some things that we got this week. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm sorry. Let me backtrack because I had one little surprise that I wanted to show for our viewers today. So we have an update on the new issue of Toytography magazine. And just want to share with you guys, last week I said we were roughly 98% complete with the magazine. Well, I'm pleased to announce today that the magazine is completely done.
Woohoo!
And it is ready to go for next month for release. So what I wanted to do is kind of like a special thing for you guys is we're going to show you a little bit of the magazine here. So let me see. Let's pull this up so you guys can take a look. Yes.
Oh,
so that is our front cover. We have our reflection photography article. So we're going to be discussing all different kinds of things that you can do working with mirrors on your camera. So that's one article that we have. One of our other articles is our main toytographer, Felix Hernandez. So his article is already there, and I mean it's the photos that he throws in are just absolutely phenomenal. So we have his article is all set up. Then Dan has put in his article for stop motion. So that's going to be, I mean, it's cool how he goes into detail for all the points for the magazine as far as stop motion is concerned. So definitely some good tips there. And then Patrick of Zord Photography, amazing poser. And so he just, shares all of his poses that he does with his figures, all the hard to do stuff. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. So we have his stuff there. That's going to be it's just a cool article to pick up. And then we also have Mike Gresser from Toy Fair. He did an article for us to help, fix your colors and, bring your highlights out in your toy photography. So he assisted with an article for that as well. And then we have Insightful Imagery. Mike, he came in and gave us another diorama for you guys to work on. So this is going to be a dungeon diorama to build. He goes into all the details with the materials that you need, everything you need to put a thing together. Very simple details so you can be able to make the dungeon for yourself. So absolutely fantastic. And also the winner of our cold theme contest that we had going on, Mandy Burton was the one who won the contest. So this is actually her full page that she's going to have in the article. So whenever we have a theme contest going on and you submit a photo and you win the contest, then you're totally able to have your image and a little article written about you in the issue of the magazine. So yeah, so we're gonna have all of those things. So that's pretty much just a little taste of what we have going on in the issue right now. So yeah, it's gonna be a whole lot of fun with you guys. So also let's see who's showing up in the chat here. Oh, we got Frederick showing up. What's up? Hey. Yes.
He's still awake. He was
I know, right? Thanks for joining us, man. It's great to see you. Great to see you. Glad you're able to show up. So, Bob Dylan. Yes,
see, Jesse, I don't know if Brian told you,
right?
but we're viewed internationally. We've got people in
beautiful.
You name it.
Beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. We got Brent all the way.
Speaking of international,
yes,
yeah.
right. Man, it's so glad. I know you was a day early on that, so I'm glad you're able to join us. But it's just so yeah. So I hope you got your nice little cup of coffee and you're ready to take off some stuff. So yeah, so it's definitely good to see you guys. Michael Wolf, hey, how's it going? Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Yeah, so it's definitely gonna be a fun time with you guys. So with that said, since we have an extra person with us, we're gonna start a little early into this segment and see if you guys picked up any new figures this week, any new gear or anything. Jesse?
Yeah, I do have a couple of figures here that actually showed up this week.
Okay.
So, Brian, we should call this segment "Show Us Your Wallet Breaker."
Yeah, right. Oh, jeez. Oh,
right.
Gosh, yeah. So I have a couple things.
Okay.
So I've got this Revoltech Jack Sparrow. I did this for a shoot this week. You'll be seeing him tomorrow. He's a little smaller than I anticipated. He's supposed to be a 6-inch figure or like a 1/12 scale, but he was a little short. But yeah, he's got lots of cool. He's got the fire accessories and stuff. He's a pretty cool little figure though.
Nice.
I got him.
Nice. Okay.
I got him from Big Bad Toy Store. I should probably point that out.
Of course.
And then some other stuff. I finally got the off-brand John Wick.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man, got him from Toys Metaverse, I believe. Haven't hardly even opened him. And then speaking of not opening, I finally got just a classic Stormtrooper from Hot Toys. Nothing too spectacular there, but I've needed the regular standard Stormtrooper.
Oh yes,
I have the Commando with the pauldron on his shoulder and stuff, but just needed just an old school Star Wars.
That's true. Sometimes you do need that. You need to have
got to have some of the classics.
Yeah, just somebody stand up in the background. That was one of the things I wanted to get that Stormtrooper from the Mandalorian. But it's like when you want a Stormtrooper in an area where there's no debris or anything, you need a clean.
Yep, exactly. When he's in the hallways of the Death Star, he's got the clean one. Then when he's outside, he's got the dirty, grunged up version.
Right. The only time I had that work was I had a Scout Trooper from the Mandalorian, and I did have the setup to where it's like, there you go. Yes, that one right there. So it's like I had him in there, and basically I had him where he looked like he was coming from outside. So
sure, yep.
So it's like that would make sense. He looks a little dirty because he just came from outside.
And Jesse, I tip my hat to your choice of art in the background. You can never go wrong with a shot of the Falcon.
Yep, that's one of my shots actually. That's one of my personal favorites.
As a matter of fact, we actually put that in the current issue
in the magazine. Yep, I think that one's in there. Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone can be able to get a closer look of that.
The Falcon. Yep, gotta love the Falcon.
Yeah.
Sure.
See,
so Dan, you have
free advertising for the magazine.
Exactly. It all ties together.
That's right. I got a couple of things that came in this week. One of them, of course, from BBTS, and that would be the Cobra Night Creeper.
Oh, look at him.
Nice.
So I had to swap the helmets out. I'm not really sure how I'm going to display them, but man, I like this guy.
Okay.
Too.
Thank you. Now this one's been out for a little bit, and then I saw him on sale, and I'm like, all right, I got to do it because he's spinning webs any size, catching thieves just like flies. So yeah, baby. When you can grab that Mezco hot action, man. You jump on that.
Yeah.
Does he have a soft goods outfit?
He does have a soft goods outfit.
Very nice. Oh, perfect.
And
love it.
It's loose enough that when you move it around, I mean, there is some wrinkling here, but it doesn't. I've had his arm out like that for a couple of days.
Okay, yeah.
And
so
it's not that kind of memory any damage.
Very nice.
Okay, nice.
So I'm really pumped about that. So, yep, those are my two. I'll be dropping a YouTube short on this guy probably later this evening. Review will be up by this weekend over at www.danstorybox.com.
Nice. I like the way the new Spider-Man figures are going because with the fabric it's like they're making it to where it finally has some give.
Yes.
So when you're pulling, you don't see no threads, pulling from something. So
demanding character for poses.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It's like it's almost like a given. Like we want to have that kind of material for that Spider-Man figure. So yeah.
And it's been good to see, especially with the Spider-Man figures. I did grab this guy off of BBTS here a while ago, and you can see that there's kind of that pleathery material on here.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it restricts his movement, and I've got a Mezco Superman back there, which thankfully there's no it's all just the soft goods costume. There's none of the material in here like Sun Spider-Man, but they're still very snug, and so it does restrict movement. Where I've had a pretty good time posing the Spidey around and not had any issues with the cloth pushing something back down or
yeah.
So I'll definitely be talking about that in the review, and I'll be taking a bunch of pictures of him tonight.
Yeah, and that kind of stuff is important, especially when you're taking photos. It's like you don't want to have any kind of issues, as far as restrictions of the suit and stuff like that. It's just, it makes it more believable when you're able to move them around and you have some movements with the clothing as well. I personally, I like taking pictures where you don't show the joints, and you're able to, just makes the stuff a little more believable. So yes. Well, I have some new stuff, and I actually found some retro stuff as well. So
you share, sir.
Yes. So first thing is I've been running into a little bit of a problem every now and then when I'm trying to get my pictures with using my tripod. I mean, it's a given. You definitely want to have a tripod to be able to hold that stuff. But sometimes I run into a little bit of a problem, trying to get the tripod in the right spot, depending upon the table I'm using and things like that. And also having multiple lights going around. So some of you may have this, but I didn't pick this up until just recently. So actually I picked up these clamps. And these things they're absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's one thing to just buy a clamp to be able to hold stuff, but these particular clamps actually came with the connector. So I can be able to put.
The ball head came with the clamp.
It came with.
Nice.
Yes. So it was.
Now it looks like I'm going to Amazon tonight. This is going to be an expensive conversation.
So I was able to hook one of my lights onto it, and they're strong enough to put the camera on it as well. These are like really, really sturdy. So yeah, I put a link on. I picked these up from Amazon, and I think they were like $10, but you get two. You get two in there, for basically $5 a piece in there. So yeah, I mean, this is absolutely fantastic, but they're already attached to the clamp. You have to do any extra pieces. So
cool. So Jesse, you thought I was joking when I said your wallet breaker segment.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
See, I have a ring light that came with one of those clamps, and now knowing I can get them extra or individually, I'm definitely pumped about that.
Yeah,
I know Brian's got some more goodies. So
right. Yeah. So the other thing was, man, I mean, for those of you who know me and look at my Instagrams, you'll see that most of my photos are 1/6 scale. I mean, that's pretty much what I shoot. And then I just started getting a little bit of 1/12 scale, started getting back into it a little bit. So I had a box of like figures that I hadn't touched in a long time. And I went back down memory lane because these figures, I used them when I first started doing my toy photography. And these were the Soda Toys.
Oh, look at that.
Yes. Figures. So, man, I found these, and then I found the second box I had that actually had all the accessories. So, so yeah. So this is the Balrog figure. He actually came with different heads. And then I found my Guile figure as well.
Who made those ones?
Soda. It's the SOTA.
Interesting. Those are really nice looking.
Yes, they are. I mean, just full detail in them and everything. So yeah,
his comb in his hand, nice.
I remember I bought a variant of Guile as well. So this is him with the red, white, and blue on there. So yeah, he even comes with different heads, different face expressions. Here's another one. I'm not gonna show do all of them because I went through a lot, but these are like the ones that like really,
it's huge.
Yeah. And that was the nice thing about it. It's like they are to scale.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, these are, I mean, just the detail in it. So I'm definitely going to be getting some pictures, and then this last guy that was stolen from Blanca.
Yep.
So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brian, you should take that Balrog and get yourself a Gandalf figure and have just a complete mishmash of universes.
Actually, I have. I'm going to do a picture with Balrog taking on Goliath from the Gargoyles.
That's good. Yep.
So I'm gonna try and do some kind of battle thing going on. I figured, like, yeah, I can maybe pull something off, and see how it turns out. But
with Mike's medieval Dio build in the next issue, you can. Yeah, the information's right there. Put it all together.
Yes, that's the great thing about it. I already went and bought my foam so I can get started, because I gotta say sometimes when I that's how I know. Again, I know I've said this before, but that's how I know when the issue that I'm creating is going to be good. When I start putting everything together, I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to see that. Oh gosh, I can't wait to see this. I would actually hold this in my head and stuff like that when I see all the stuff coming together. I mean, I honestly, Jesse, I felt that way when I was putting together your article. When you sent me your images to go through the article, and I'm putting everything together, I'm like, oh man, this is gonna look good. Oh yeah, let me map this.
Awesome, yeah. Yeah, you sent me the PDF. I've got the print copy on order, and you sent me the PDF.
Yes. Awesome. I did see your order coming in. So yes. So which, by the way, so anyone who wants to order the Toytography magazine, you can go to toytographymag.com and place your order. We're still taking pre-orders for the coming issue. Also, just to give you guys a heads up, we made this an announcement a few weeks back. We're now making some changes going into the next year. And the changes that we're making is a lot of the older issues are going to start to go away. So now each issue that we release, it will only be available for a year. After that, it gets tossed into the vault, and it's
limited edition.
Yeah. So as of right now, all the issues are going away with the exception of the March 2024 issue. That's with Falcon on the front, Captain America on the front. And then we have our other issue with Andrew Camera, and Jesse's issue is still available. So basically, the issue with Falcon on the front, we released it in March of this year, so it's going to be available until March of next year, and so forth and so on. So Jesse's issue was released in September, so it'll still be available until September of next year. And then we'll just go through the cycle that way and just kind of phasing them out. We just didn't want to get to the point where it's kind of overwhelming with all these issues all over everywhere, trying to deal with stuff. So we're definitely just kind of organizing everything a little better. Also, another update for the magazine. I mentioned before that we are going to start next month selling the issue on Amazon. So we're still working out some of the things going on with that. So as of right now, the digital version will be available on Amazon Kindle. So that will at least starting in December, those issues will be available. And then the next, the printed copies, those will still be available on our website. So you can get them on the website until we have everything hashed out. And then after that, everything will be on Amazon or on our site. We'll still have that stuff going. So yes.
Brian, madcap idea, man.
What's that?
When we get ready to put an issue in the vault and it's no longer available, you should take one print copy of that issue, send it to the featured toytographer for an autograph, and do a giveaway.
Ooh, that's cool.
Oh wow! Actually, let me write that down. That's actually a good one. Everybody should know that.
Every now and again, blind squirrel, nut.
Right. Right.
So Jesse, don't be surprised if a package shows up at your door that says,
I'm all in. Yeah, I'm count me in for sure.
Yeah. Just in case I get someone's like, oh, I'm too busy, I'm gonna just send like this little girl saying, please.
Puppy dog guys.
I'm not signing this magazine. He's going to sell it. No, it's a giveaway.
Right. So now we're gonna move on to our next segment where we had some of our group members in our Toytography magazine Facebook group. We had them submit some photos, and we're gonna take a look at them and give our feedback on them, which is going to be a real treat today since we have Jesse here, which gosh, it's to say professional, that's an understatement.
No.
It's just like, man, just some amazing stuff. So I'm actually gonna pull this stuff up. So while I'm pulling this up, Jesse, feel free to share a little bit about your background, what you're where you were and what you're doing now. And
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But
so
be elliptical about it so that people have to buy last issue.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. True. Did we?
Right.
I guess I don't remember if we went over how much of my history. Anyway, so for anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Jesse Feyereisen. I am currently the lead in-house content creator for Big Bad Toy Store. I just started doing that in the spring. I've been a toy photographer for 5-7 years, something like that. And I was really into photography for years before that. I'm a child of the 80s. I grew up loving Star Wars, Predator, Terminator, all sorts of 80s action movies, things like that. And when I was younger, I really was into like visual effects. I loved geeking out. After I'd watched the movie, I'd go hunt down as much special effects and like behind the scenes kind of stuff on the movies as I could. I have lots of books on visual effects. I love all that sort of stuff. Kind of wanted to go down that route. And didn't go down that route, but I was introduced to Photoshop in the mid 90s to sort of date myself in a photography. What was it? Like a photography? No, art and technology class, I think was the first one. So I was introduced to Photoshop in like 95, 96, I think version 3 or something. And that just blew my mind with the stuff what we could start doing on the computer and stuff. And it was so amazing. So then after high school, I went to school for graphic design because I was really getting into that visual arts type of stuff. Did some video, a lot of graphic design stuff, a little bit of 3D animation, not much on video editing and things. Then throughout my career, had various jobs in the AV industry, in software and UI stuff, and then started really getting into photography. I just kind of took over and started experimenting in all sorts of different genres, from your typical like landscape and wildlife. Never did like weddings or anything. I wasn't, I didn't want to deal with any of that sort of stress. But
wish I had said your astro photography. Oh my gosh.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, dabbled in astrophotography. Ooh. Boy, that is turns out that's a very expensive hobby, very technical hobby, and it takes place at night when I like to sleep. So that was a little bit of a challenge. But yeah, and then I started leaning towards like product photography and macro photography. And one year, my wife gave me a Darth Vader Hot Toys figure for Christmas or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this is great. And then throughout my photography experimenting, I put Darth Vader in front of the camera and was like, wow, that kind of looks like someone in cosplay or something. It looks really good depending on how you light it. So that just kind of kicked the doors open, and I started doing, I've always been a collector too. So I'm almost mad at myself at how long it took me in life to put these two worlds together. Like, I don't know why I didn't do it before, but so then I started going online and kind of discovering the community of toy photographers. Nice. And this would have been like the late 2017, 18, 19, whatever. But yeah, and I was just shocked at what people were doing and like that this was the whole thing. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so I just fell in love with it, dove in head first, and have been having a really, really great time ever since. I'm posting my stuff on Instagram, all the different socials, and doing other genres of photography. I've been kind of networked with other photography genres and things and people. Is my camera? There we go.
Oh, yeah, you're here.
So then one year my wife was kind of encouraged me to enter some contests and competitions. Like, oh man, I don't know. Is anybody gonna take this seriously? I don't know. So lo and behold, I entered a couple of photos into Photoshop World 2021, I think it was, and ended up placing in macro and winning best in show with a shot of the Mandalorian. And that blew my mind. I still can't believe it happened. It's not real. Is this a dream? But it opened the doors. Like it boosted my confidence, and it's like, and it made me think, okay, if I can put this in front of other photographers around the world, like, why not? Let's go nuts. I'm going to dive all in on this, and let's have some fun with it.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I've just been having a really good time with it. Most of my posts, I started doing like a weekly post thing I think it was around COVID when I started doing it. And I've held pretty true to that, doing a new photo project just about every week, only missed a handful of days throughout that time. And then just started gaining traction, networking with people. And I reached out to Big Bad Toy Store one day, just kind of on a whim. It was a support call. I had a broken figure, and I'm like, hey, I reached out to their support and like, hey, can you guys help me with this? And I'm like, oh, and by the way, here's what I do. If maybe we can. It turns out they're not very far from me. They're kind of down the road. So, yes, I'm like, oh, here's who I am. Here's what I do. Maybe we can talk and do something. And they called me back immediately. We started having some conversations, and the rest is history. Here I am.
Yeah. Nice.
So.
Hey, Jesse, before we wrap up, I'm going to, in the private chat for us, I'm going to zip you my email because I'd love to try and stay in touch with you if we could do that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, that would be.
Brian knows where to find me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, you should never say it like that, because then it really makes Brian sound even more creepy.
I'll start playing this all wherever you take.
Yep. See him peeking out the windows there. Yeah.
Brian's waving at you from across the street.
Yeah, right.
There's Brian.
You're sitting at Buffalo Wild Wings. Brian's over there. No.
Come on in. I'll make some coffee.
Yeah, right.
Well, dude, if it works that way, I'm going to be outside now.
Yeah.
Bring your camera. Bring some figures.
Right.
All right, I'm in.
Oh,
let's have a mid-country meeting.
Hey, Lumi, we have Lumi in the building here. It's great to see you.
Hey,
hello, welcome.
Yes.
Welcome. Good to have you.
Yeah, so let's I got this thing up now. So let's go ahead and pull up these photos and see what's what we can give.
Yeah, let's check them out.
Time to review #TTM Live.
Yes. All right, here is our first one.
Oh, look at that.
Ooh. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I really like this one. This was this is really good. I like the lighting on it, because especially the light that shines in from the between the boards. That's a nice touch. That is a really, really nice touch. And I would say it's a very simple pose. I mean, it's nothing, over the top or anything like that. So I think it's really good. My only thing as far as this is I probably would have toned down the red just a little bit. That'd be my only thing, because it's I don't know. It's almost, the red almost kind of makes it like you stepped out of another dimension. Just kind of came in. I mean, the red is good. I definitely would not get rid of it. I would just kind of just just a little darker to it. But I mean, literally, that's only if I was to be nitpicking on the photo. That is the only thing I can see. Other than that, I mean, everything about the photo is looks good to me. So what do you think, Jesse?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said there. I love that light, that kind of godlight coming through the window. I'm guessing that was done in post, which is totally fine. I'm a huge fan of working in post. And the only reason I say that is because it's so strong on the one board.
True.
You'd think there'd be a little bit come through the other cracks, but
yes,
totally minuscule thing. And another, I do agree with you mentioning the red. It's maybe a little saturated, especially on the left side of the character there. It kind of washes out the brick.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm actually really glad that you put the red in there, because it helps make the subject stand out so much from that brick background. It just makes them pop.
Yeah.
But no, this is a great shot. One tiny little nitpick, and this is just an earworm in my own brain kind of thing. Since you have so many defined lines in this image, I think what I would have done if in Photoshop or Lightroom used the transform tool and kind of align those vertical hallway lines so they look a little just skewed outward a little bit to me. And that's a super tiny nitpick. I mean, that's really that's a detail that only a crazy person like me would maybe even identify. But no, otherwise this is a great shot.
Yeah.
I also love the window highlights on the character's face. So really draws your eye right up there.
Yeah, that was definitely
very nice shot. Very nice.
A good shot here. Next one we have.
Look at
that. This is a good one. I honestly for this, I don't know, just all the colors just seem to go well with everything. It's like you really don't have anything too saturated or anything like that. I think this is overall, I think it's a good shot.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. I love the saturation, the pop, the kind of the cartoony video game vibe.
Right.
No, this is great. This is super fun. I thought I was kind of peeking at these beforehand to see what was in the group. I didn't see this one. This is great.
Okay. Yeah, this is good. I mean, there's really, I mean, again, that's kind of like what you see in a lot of these things. It's like, what can you say? Everything just looks
and really well. Yeah, and it's telling a great story too. Like if you've played the game, the name escapes me.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to remember
shoot.
I'm totally drawing a blank.
Yeah, I'm totally blanking. But anyway, yeah. So if you've played the game, yeah, you know, you're kind of looking for that murderer and stuff and trying to be the last one alive and stuff. And it just tells that perfect story. That little guy creeping up on him with the knife and ready to do his business.
Right. And see, that's the thing. It's like sometimes you look at things and it'll either be the lighting or the depth of field to make it difficult to tell what's going on. But that's not the case here. It's like everything is done really well.
Yeah, it's not. Go ahead.
Lumi pointed out it's Among Us.
There you go. Thank you. Yes.
There you go. Right. That's the one.
I think what I'm liking about this, and I had some thoughts on the other picture. I can come back to that later on, though. But what I like about this is this color transition across the color palette, going from left to right as you're looking at it. Mm-hmm. We've got those nice cooler tones. And then we get over to the red, and that red it saturates everything else in the background. But the focus for your eye goes right to the middle. Right. And the nice part about it is the entirety of the background and the settings just draws you into what's happening.
Yeah. And that's another good thing about it when you take your photos, and no matter where you look, the image always leads your eye back to the area where the photographer wants you to see. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was definitely a good one. Good shot.
Great set too, that dial.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is another really good one, the Daredevil, and clearly you can see that's Deadpool.
Yep.
With good there. Yeah, this is another really good shot. The tones of the colors and everything. I think the lighting is done really well. So yeah, overall, I'd say this is a good shot here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is really nice. If anything, I'd maybe would have put a bounce card under the character just to bring a little bit more fill light into his hand holding the pistol. It almost gets absolute black there.
Yes,
and I'd like to see a little bit more detail, but
yeah, that was the thing, because that way with that you can kind of see where the hand ends. And it doesn't quite blend in with the wrist. So yeah, good point.
The other part of this too, and it's just a little minor pieces, just that little touch of green light on the back of Daredevil's helmet.
Oh
it's so out of place, but it fits perfectly.
I know, right? Right. It literally just adds to the atmosphere of everything. So wow, yeah. And actually, I didn't even notice that green there kind of blended in with everything else. So good eye on that, Dan.
Very nice.
Oh yeah, this is another.
Yeah, that's cool.
This is another good shot. So I would say just the lighting on it is good. The contrast is very nice. My only thing for this is the actual pose itself. as far as everything else is what you got in camera, I think everything in camera looks great. I kind of would have positioned Obi-Wan just just a little bit where he's kind of leaning in, and you can kind of just based on the pose, you can see if the legs kind of go back a little further towards the background, just to make it look like he's getting ready to come down and go for a strike. This kind of angle here looks like, instead of like charging towards him, looks like more of just like a drop, like he's just gonna just drop to the ground and strike there. So I kind of would have changed the pose a little bit, and I don't know if there's any wire in the robe or whatnot, but that's another thing, is trying to have it look like it's flowing.
Yeah, like it's flowing. Yeah, I don't think there's a wire in that one.
Yeah, that might have been the difficult thing, is actually trying to get the robe to look like it's flowing. But other than that, as far as what you got in camera, like I said, everything is great. You really don't need to have Darth Maul in focus, because the attention is on Obi-Wan. So that that totally makes sense. So that's my only thing, is just the pose itself. I would kind of change a little bit.
Yeah,
I would. I agree with all of that. To me, because of the positioning, it feels flat. It's hard to kind of determine the depth in the picture. I don't know if maybe a different angle, or more of an upwards angle, or even, like you said, adjusting the pose would give it more depth. But to me, it's got all the elements that you need. But to me, it does look flat, because it looks like the smoke is the background, and then you move up and you've got the rock face, but there's no delineation, and Obi-Wan looks like he's literally standing on Maul's shoulder.
With the foot,
it'd be nice to have a little separation there.
And maybe that's the thing, is the rock. It almost looks like he's not leaping from the rock, which is probably what they were trying to do with this. So in a way, it kind of makes sense. But without that, I guess with that depth of field, the further depth of field, that you might be able to convey that with some adjustments there. I don't know how this figure can be posed, but that's, again, if they were able to turn it in a way to where you had both hands on the saber, rather than just the one strike coming down, maybe that would be just another idea for it. But yeah, that would be the thing. Even if you had like Darth Maul maybe raise his lightsaber a little higher to prepare for the strike, that would kind of show some distance in that. But yeah, it does look like it's maybe a little stacked on there. So yeah.
Can we go back to that one?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Let me bring.
If we can. Okay. Yeah. No, I agree with everything you guys said. I do really like this shot. Another couple little tiny things. I think it bugs me a little bit that both of the lightsabers are just barely cut off. I'd love to see a little bit more space. Like, you could almost lose a little bit of the crop on the bottom and gain a little bit more up top. And then also those flowers in the upper right corner in the background, I would have maybe desaturated those a little bit, because they're kind of pulling my eye away from the action. I keep looking up at Obi-Wan, and then I drift over to the flowers a little bit.
True.
To kind of even it out with the left side. And then the last thing, Obi-Wan's, I don't know if it's just the stream, but Obi-Wan's saber looks like it's leaning a little bit purple as opposed to blue.
Oh yeah.
Those are great lightsaber effects, by the way. They look really nice.
And actually, you know what? Just to piggyback on that, and this is just some advice for anyone who's taking the photos. Sometimes people try to crop their image in the camera. And the thing is, you don't necessarily need to do that. You can just take your photo, and if you have a whole lot, it's fine, because you can crop it, in post, crop it afterwards. That way you don't lose a lot of that stuff. But yeah, if it gets more than what you want, it's fine. get the rest of it and then crop it before when you're actually editing the image or whatever the case may be. I do the same thing. I mean, I don't do whole lot of editing for my images, but I will crop my image if I got too much showing up.
Yep.
So yeah, I would definitely do that as well.
Yeah.
So.
And then to piggyback off of that, Brian, I could also add, because I crop and post all the time. We have so many megapixels in our cameras these days. You're not losing hardly any quality. By the time it gets to Instagram, it's like a 1.5 megapixel.
True.
Anyway, it literally is. Right. So if you have 20 to 50 megapixels, you're golden. But I often shoot a little extra wide just because of that too, so I can kind of recrop and post. And another thing, on the more professional level, if you want to get into this with doing this for other companies and things like that, think about your graphic designers. They are going to love you if you are the type of photographer that knows to leave a little bit of space so they can then add text to something, or they can, sometimes your web developer needs a portrait version. Sometimes they need a horizontal version of the same shot. So if you can kind of prepare yourself for those kind of scenarios, you will save yourself some headaches down the road.
Yes. Yeah, that is true. That's another thing. Cause I have actually done that in the past where I have submitted pictures. And when I submitted to someone, they're just like, "Oh,
hey, this is great. Do you have a
portrait version? A little bit. Can you take this in more space?" I'm like, "Oh, dang it, I did." Because they have to allow for that kind of stuff to crop it. So yeah, you want to leave that extra space because you will lose some of it.
It's a challenge. It honestly is. Like you're sitting there, you're putting all this effort into working on your composition. It takes some foresight to then see down the road where it might be used and to kind of, I don't want to say compromise your vision, but it's something to think about.
Yes. That's true. Oh, we got Ren showing up. Hello, Renz.
Hey, Renz.
Hey. So this one we shot right here. This was Frederick. He submitted this thing. I honestly do like this image as well. My only thing for this was the red in the background kind of takes away from what you got in the foreground. I mean, it's definitely good in it, and I would say it's actually in some cases it would kind of fit the environment. But the thing about it is, for this, your colors in the foreground match the colors in the background, and you kind of lose a little bit as a result of it. And so therefore you're kind of relying on your depth of field alone to get the people to stay focused on what you have in the foreground. Whereas if you had, some different colors, something that will maybe a little bit even darker in the tones, and more in the foreground. So again, like we talked about before, no matter where your eye goes, the photo will draw your eye back to where it wants you to look at. So right. I think this is that same case here.
Yeah. I really love this image. This is
a good image. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I agree with you, Brian. Like that back upper left corner. You can almost just take a brush in Photoshop or Lightroom and just paint that area and just dip the exposure a little bit, just to kind of bring it down a little bit so it doesn't quite, because that one white wire is really hot and it really,
I know, right?
Yeah. But but man, this is such a cool shot. I love this. I think the pose is great. The lighting, you can see the character. Like what a great set too. That Dio with the wires for that downed robot and stuff. This is really cool.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. Great pose. It's just overall. It's a fantastic shot.
Heck yeah.
Fantastic shot. So yeah, and again, for anyone who's watching and taking a look at everything, a lot of the feedback that we get, 9 times out of 10, no one's going to go back and change this image. So, right. We're just kind of just sharing it just so that, for people to know for future reference, if you're, going to do that. Yeah. You don't want to have too much of your colors in the background take away from, unless like I did one image a while back where I had, I took a picture of Nathan Drake and I had him in the foreground and I had Waldo in the background. But I purposely blurred him so that you can only tell it's him by the stripes. So And that's a, you know, just kind of, you know, so you know exactly what's going on in the background, but only just because, you know, it's subtle. It's really, really subtle. So oh wow,
Oh, there it is. Yep.
a laundry basket. Wow,
That's awesome.
That is
I love it.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, you know, didn't we say this last week? You can take anything around you and be creative and turn it into a really, really cool.
Yes. And that's one of the great characteristics of a photographer, man. You work with what you have, you improvise. So man, hey, that's a great idea.
Yeah. If you can go through your house and look at things as not as objects, but as shapes, as textures, as colors, like it'll really open up your mind to, oh yeah, that would be a nice little background piece. Out of focus, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are, case in point.
Yes. So let's see what we got. Our next shot.
Oh, boom, George!
Wow. Yeah, this is really good one. This is a really good shot. I like the lighting on it. I mean, just literally you have. It's almost like you got 3 different colors going, you know, all around. You have your yellows, you have your orange, you have your black on the other end. And then the only red that you have is actually on the face itself. So this this is a really good shot. I like doing shots like this to where people look at it and they can't tell if it's, you know, a toy or not, and stuff like that. And that's one of the reasons why I also like to do my images without any Photoshop or anything like that. Not knocking the people who do.
Oh no.
But it's like I like doing that kind of stuff because there's no editing involved, and therefore people are looking at it like, were you on the set? You know, where this guy, you know, stuff like that. And it's just like, no, this is, you know, an actual figure. This is everything you see from the camera, you know, stuff like that. But this, I think all the lighting on it is done really well.
I just love that there's a hint of reflection on the red eye lenses.
Yeah.
So that you can just make them out. I mean, I can't even think of anything to nitpick.
Right.
This is
agreed.
This is just that's remarkable.
Yeah.
I've been George and I have been following each other for a long time, since the early days of our toy photography adventures. And man, he's one of those guys. You talk about style, man. I know his photo as I'm scrolling before like the photo is even fully revealed. I'm like, oh, here comes George. Look at this.
Right.
And it's boom, he's got this unique style. He nails it every time. It's just it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Let's see. Oh, he's off the bed. All right. Good to see you, man. Glad you're able to join us. So yeah. Yes. Oh, and Bram made a comment on his phone and said,
that was Bram's. Okay.
Yeah.
Amongst photos discussed.
I doing scrap materials.
Wow.
Nice.
Once again,
Subway sandwich.
Yep.
We reiterate that anything can be a diorama.
Yes.
The kitchen supply section in stores is very good for background stuff. Grilling utensils, like grilling grates and like cooking stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of good material back there.
Yeah, that's
awesome shot for him.
So many ways, but yeah, this is definitely a good shot, George. Let's see our next shot.
Nice.
This is good. This is a good one. I like this one, but I will say that my only thing for this is like so you have a number of different lights going on, but it seems like each light that you have is a little over saturated a little bit. You have to where it kind of drowns out a little bit. You have your white light reflecting off the top, which that might be a little too much there. And then you have the orange light next to the lady there. And I think that might be a little too much on there. And then you have your, well, it could be what you're going for as far as the lens flare for the eyes, which that makes sense. But it's almost like the other lights kind of, I don't know, just a little oversaturated, but it's still overall, I still say it's a good shot. The other thing is and maybe you guys can help me out.
Mhm.
Is he actually sitting on something? It looks like he's sitting down,
Yeah, it
but
looks like there's
he looks
stool
like
of
he's on a
sorts.
little stool,
Yeah.
Okay.
which makes it even better because he's so oversized and the
Right.
stool is so small. That's what adds the comic. But I agree. If that overhead light was just a little bit dim and let the orange and the greens play off each other,
Yeah.
I think that this would have been a really killer shot if it were a little bit darker with that overhead light.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you could almost lose that light in the background alley on the left and just have it focus on the chef and the
I think that's the thing, because if you lose some of that, you can see it's because of the lighting, it's kind of hard to tell that she's actually holding the skillet. But if you kind of pull back the light a little bit, then you can get a little more understanding of what's actually going on in the shot. It's like, okay, she's a cook, she's making hamburgers there, and he's eating the hamburger and got the drink in his hand. So it's but that's why it's like lighting is so crucial, because lighting, if you if you know how to work with it, it can be your friend or it can be your enemy.
I discovered that with my Cobra Commander review. I had my white background, I had my overhead lights, and I even had a light in front. And he still looked dark in my pictures in that review I just put up.
Okay, yeah. So that's the thing. It's but I mean, it just takes practice. It's just trial and error. But other than that, I mean, I would say that the shot is good. Your posing is good, and the lights that you use are good. I mean, there's definitely some good lights to add to it. It's just a little oversaturated, but it's a great pose.
Yeah, it's a really good fun shot telling the story.
It
there.
is.
And like you said, great poses.
Yeah,
good lighting. It's just maybe a little bit hot up there on top.
Yeah.
And another little thing, I'd maybe would have pushed the cat over to the right a little bit. The way the cat's head is crossing over into the foot of the character. There's when you do things like that, it's hard to explain, but like you either have to go for it or you don't. There's like a point where it looks like an accident, but then there's a point where you push it over enough where it looks like it's intentional in covering. You know, this happens with lighting. This happens with cropping and things. Like the Dutch angle is kind of a classic example. Like if you just tilted horizon, it looks like an accident, but if you really go for it, then it becomes the Dutch angle. You know, there's not really a number or science to it, but so the cat kind of reminded me just the way it's crossing that foot. I'm like, I'd maybe push the cat over a little bit just to
separate the. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Separate them, and then that would fill that space in that lower right corner a little bit.
Oh, right. Yes.
Tiny little detail, but otherwise, this is a super fun shot. I like it.
Yeah, I would say that it's either like you move it over a little bit or actually move it a little further into the foreground.
Yeah, like you could bring them away from the character and that would work, or you could push him into the character, like the cat's maybe rubbing up against his leg or something.
Yeah,
right. You know, we're kind of in the middle zone here.
Right, just to catch that space. Yeah.
Oh,
that's another this is that Jay. And Jay always brings the humor when it comes to this picture. It's almost like this is a ongoing fight with between Raphael and Casey Jones. A constant thing going on. But this is definitely a good shot. I think the lighting is good. Who is that along the ring?
That's April O'Neil.
That's April O'Neil.
Oh, April. Okay.
I slashing her concerns for Casey.
Yeah, I kind of would have had her maybe leaning into the ring, like she's kind of yelling at him or some kind of interaction, but he kind of pulled back a little bit, so it's kind of difficult to see. I would kind of maybe position her in a way to where her head appears a little bit more between the ropes. So but man, this is a cool shot. I like.
This is a fun one.
Yeah. This is a really fun one.
To use a wrestling term, I am a total mark for these old school movie Ninja Turtles for sure.
Yes,
they get me every time.
Right.
I'd love to see a little bit more light, because since if this is in a stadium, I think you could take a piece of a white foam core or something and just set it on the camera right here and fill in that right side a little bit, just to fill in those shadows. I think would maybe help give the appearance of a fully lit stadium and things. But I really like this.
Yeah, it's maybe looking like it's an underground.
And it very well could be. Yeah, but I guess the audience leads me to believe otherwise that it's a bigger stadium.
So that audience, you got to add for that light. Yeah, true.
And I'm guessing this is a TV display for the background, which is awesome. I do that all the time. Like Digiramas have opened up. You know, if you don't have the space to build a diorama, putting a TV in the background is a great way to do it. Just got to be careful though. It looks like there's a little bit of one of your lights reflecting at the very top left corner. Just pay attention to that.
Yeah,
that gets me off.
That gets me sometimes too, trying to get pictures of that, and you'll see like oh dang. But again, this goes back to like there's nothing wrong with just taking the wide shot and then just cropping.
True. Yep.
So that you can eliminate that. That way you can hold your light up a little more, and still be able to shine down and adjust from there. So
fun shot though. Super cool.
Yeah, it was a really nice one.
Oh, this is a nice one too.
This is beautiful.
This is good. Yes, this is Jesse.
Ooh, another Jesse. Bonus points.
Yeah, I know, right? You win overall. You got it.
Yep.
You win.
That's it. Wrap it up. We're done here.
Well, folks, that's been a great episode. We'll see you all next
Thanks
week.
for hanging. This is gorgeous though. I mean,
yeah.
Like,
this is a good shot. I honestly see this is a time where it's you have a hot light shining on the head, but at the same time it makes sense for it to be there. And again, this is just one of those cases where you can have the light work in your favor. And I think this is definitely one of those times where it would make sense to kind of go overboard with the light a little bit, because you can still make out the tone of the head. It's like it's not completely drowned out in the light. So but again, the only thing, unless they were trying to have that stuff cut off. But again, it's good. It's a good point that you made, Jesse. It's like just think, when you're trying to do an image like this, if you were to have this photo, showcase somewhere, or if this was some product or something, and you send it to them like this, knowing that they're going to need to maybe crop it a little more to make it fit somewhere, it's like you kind of want to leave that extra space so that you don't lose even more than what you've already cropped. I freaking love this image, man. I know it's so gorgeous, but to your point, like if there was one thing to nitpick, I think it would be the crop. So first off, it looks like it's a 1-to-1 square crop, which is always a super challenge. Like a square crop, I'm just not a fan of a square crop, but I do have to do them sometimes, and you just have to deal with it. It's super tough to make a good composition out of that, for me anyway. But you did a great job here. I would love to see a little bit more of I feel like the hands and the tendril things on his back that are just barely cut off. I'd either like to see it cropped tighter or opened up more. We're right on that fine line of it looks like it was an accidental cut off. Yes, because that's what I was saying. As far as the tail is concerned, the tail is
the tail. Yep, you're golden.
It's like you if it gets cut off, it's fine. But with the top and the bottom, because you can tell like the part that's cut off, if they just went just a little bit lower or a little bit higher, we would have seen the whole thing. So it's like, that's the thing. But as far as the tail, it's like, forget it. We already know he got a long tail. It's good. But again, it's a good close-up shot.
And I think the worst part about it, because of how it's been cropped, it actually takes away from the storytelling. The assumption here is that the xenomorph is heading into an explosion because you've got what looks like debris flying around him, which could really just be an amazing close-up of whatever textured wall is behind him. But he's not doing the storytelling any justice by narrowing the focus, and like Jesse pointed out, cropping it to where you can't see the hands, you can't see the rest of the tendrils. I almost feel like we're being a little bit cheated of the actual motion in the picture.
Okay.
To your point, I'd like to ask you guys, what do you think the story is? Because to me, I feel like it looks like it's injured and it's down on its knees. But I'm just curious as what anyone else is reading out of this picture, like what they think the story is.
Yeah, honestly, that is kind of difficult to see. I mean, it could. I mean, based off of the lighting that's off the shining of the head, it could be bracing for an explosion. You know, something that's definitely either something is coming towards it or it is going towards something else.
Sure.
But because of the lighting, that gives you a sense of direction of where it's going. Like I don't sense that it's sitting still. It's seems like it's again something is it could be either pushed back or it's going forward. And even when you look at the debris, it's like you can see the debris is going in a certain direction,
right?
As well. So yeah, it could be embracing for something, but yeah, that's what I'm getting from it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I kind of thought that it was maybe leaning into the shockwave from an explosion, but now that you pointed out, it could potentially be kneeling like it's injured, and we're getting the aftermath of the explosion. It is really difficult to tell, and it's a shame because this looks like a beautiful shot.
Yeah,
and I feel like we're missing out on what the story is that they're trying to tell us.
Yeah, just a fun little thought experiment. Because
exactly.
Oftentimes when I'm doing my photos, I think about it like if this photo was in a gallery, and lots of people are here, it's a show, people are looking at it, but I'm over at craft services getting a sandwich, and I'm not over by the picture to explain it to someone, and people are looking at it like, would they be able to decipher the story? Without me being there to explain it, could they figure it out, or what would they imagine?
Yes. And that's actually a good point to make, because again, you are even this is kind of like, this is the case right now, because person, isn't here. They're not really here to explain exactly what's going on. So we have to take the context of what we're seeing. I mean, and yes, there are some images where they are totally open to interpretation.
Yep.
As far as what's going on. But yeah, you kind of have to wonder about that. It's like, okay, if other people were kind of looking at this that was on display,
yep,
and it's in a gallery somewhere, and it's like, what kind of ideas or imaginations would people have when they're looking at those particular images? So yeah.
Totally, but otherwise, man, beautiful lighting.
Yeah,
the effects are really nice. I'm gonna go out on a limb and throw out a guess that is maybe that lens flare came from Onirik software, which is a great plugin and piece of software for Photoshop. It just looks familiar. I use not to do a plug. I don't have any affiliation with it, but Onirik is a great like glow piece of software for making glows and things and lens flares. And it is on sale right now, I think for like $60 or something. But again, not a sponsor, not affiliated, just something.
Yes, it is.
It could be.
It could be.
That is very true. See, now it's.
Yep, absolutely. It's
nice photography after hours deep thoughts here.
Right. And that's the great thing about it, because really, no matter what the interpretation is, really the ultimate goal is, I want you to talk about my photo.
Exactly. Look at how much time we've spent here talking.
Yes, exactly.
That's exactly perfect. No, beautiful shot, man. Really beautiful.
Yes. This is nice. Let me see if I can.
Cool. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. This is one of Michael's.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. This is really a good one. This is a good shot. And again, this is the thing where like it makes perfect for if you want to crop the shot. If you needed to crop it or anything, you can lose a lot of this without losing the image. But I mean, this is, again,
you put text over there too in the title.
But gosh, man, I mean, just the smoke, the pose, the lighting. Yeah, I'd say everything is top notch. This is a really good one. Good
Absolutely.
Shot. Yeah.
I mean, it just the charring to the background to where he just burst into the building after the fire has been put out and he's searching.
Yes.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. And again, it's like you can have that, or if you want to go in and just only see that one area, you still got a great shot on it. So yeah, the way, that's another thing I like about using smoke, because the smoke adds to the lighting, because it'll reflect whatever colors you're using, in that. So yeah, this was definitely a good shot, and I would say, yeah, Michael, you did
I knew he was watching earlier. I don't know, Mike, are you still on?
Yeah, if you are, give us a shout.
I love that it went with that cinematic crop, that 240-1 kind of.
Yes,
that's I love doing that.
Yeah.
The only bummer is they don't do well on social media. They become little tiny thumbnails on your phone.
Right.
It's unfortunate. I love shooting wide like that, but it just doesn't.
Yes, very true. Very true. Yep.
There he goes.
Oh yeah,
there he is.
Yeah,
there's Michael.
Yeah, great shot, man. This is
very cool shot. Yeah, cool pose.
Absolutely sick, bud.
Great lighting. I guess if I had anything that was throwing me off, I'm not a huge fan of the color grade, the kind of greens and yellows personally. It's hard to make, people don't really look great in greens often.
Yeah.
I feel like this shot is just screaming Dark Knight to me. So I feel like I want to see it in more blues.
Yeah.
Cooler tones.
Yeah.
But that's a minor nitpick. But man, otherwise this is a really cool shot.
Yeah. This is definitely great. And it's a classic shot because we've seen images like this. We've kind of seen images like this with the Ben Affleck one, and we don't never really seen him. Or actually, we did see, wasn't there one image where he was standing inside the car, was looking up or something, or maybe that was the Ben Affleck.
I think that was the Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck one, yeah.
Yep.
But overall,
can you pan back just a little bit so we can get a little bit wider shot angle?
I see the full.
There we go.
Yeah. Good on you for the cinematic crop. I love it.
When you pull out like this, that green definitely becomes a little bit more defined. And I mean, I do like the way he kind of split the screen where you've got that yellow tone on one side, green to the other. But Jesse, I agree with you. If he'd have gone with more bluer tones in this, I think that would have really, like you said, that would have really pulled off a Dark Knight vibe that he was shooting for.
He was resting on the.
Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Oh sure. Yep. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and again, that's it. Just man, and props to Mike for just doing the whole diorama around. I mean, just all the free to it. So yeah, it's this is a good one.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So that's all we have for our TTM live, folks. So we actually have some other photos that were just submitted. So we're not really going to spend any time critiquing them or anything. We're just going to go ahead and just take a look at the photos that have been submitted in the group between
show and tell time.
Yeah, between last Wednesday. So let's go ahead and just bring these folks out.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
Yes.
Love that purple pop.
I know, right? Yeah, it's nice. Definitely a good shot.
Oh, that's funny. I've been thinking about a shot very similar to that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Cool. Very, very nicely done. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, here's the best part. You're inspiring Jesse for.
Yep. Yes. That's what I love about this community, man. We're all just inspiring each other and lifting each other up, and it's just so great. It's so much fun.
Oh, that's wild. I like that Marvel DC crossover there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. Just everybody gets creative with all of their submissions and stuff. So yeah, I've done that before. Seen other people's photos and just get inspired to do my own image based off of what I saw. So yeah, it's good we're able to pull off from each other. Oh, you got the TIE fighters in the background there.
Michael Galaxy TIE fighters looks like. Yeah. Nice.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
That's a cool stormy looking effect there. That's really neat.
Yes.
Oh, good old Gandalf.
Ooh, I'm telling you, he's got to go with Balrog.
Right.
Round one.
Right.
Nice Joker. Nice
Joker one. That's actually pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Ripley.
Now that's
cool to go with the Predator.
That's a nice shot. I recognize
it is in the Xenomorph. Yeah.
Yep. Very nice. Great dial.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very nice.
The whole moss of everything. I like all this
stuff. Nice. It's always fun when people do, bring out the humor and do some really fun crossovers. And comedy. It's always fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, not bad.
Oh yeah. Two old guys. I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty clever.
Fun.
It's another one that's like, what's the story there? You know,
Yep. Phoenix.
This is cool.
I like that. I like that background too. Like you said, that digi background.
Yep. Oh, fun. Yeah, that's cool when people do like little graphical elements.
Yes.
The comic frame.
Yeah, pretty clever.
Nice.
Ooh.
Smoke is so fun to work with.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
It really is.
Just like lighting. It's like it can be your friend or your enemy.
Exactly. Yeah. Nice dark. Nice Leo, Ronan Leo there. Oh, Vader.
I love the black and white tones with just. Oh no, there is no hint of color in there.
No, that's not even on the chest plate.
Not even on the chest plate. Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty cool. The purples and everything.
Cool.
Yep. Boom.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a really, really good shot.
Oh, that's cool. Look at that.
Yeah, this is another cool one. Showing is that the rain and everything. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Is that Spider Noir? I think.
I believe so. Yeah, it looked like
That almost looks like a blacklight effect, kind of.
It does.
This one, yeah.
It's cool. Nice.
Ooh, I like the mixing there with the crow. That's
right.
Yeah. Yep.
The composition on that is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Right.
The only problem is Deadpool's holding it in the wrong spot to be an SNL skit.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
I don't want to know what's in that box.
Nice.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
that works.
Oh, nice. Back to the shop again.
Yep. It's cool setting the tone with that one light there.
Cool.
I've actually debated picking up that Robin. I've seen it out in the wild, and I'm tempted, but
It's like it's got a wired cape. That's always nice.
Yeah, that's always helps.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Yeah,
that is slick.
That's good. That's a Herald shot, isn't it? I think. Yeah. That's awesome. Oh, another one. Yeah. I've just done my first couple of Godzilla shots this year. He's really fun character to shoot.
Really? Okay.
Once you get a collection of those mini buildings, you're set.
Okay.
A lot of cars in the shop tonight.
Yeah, really.
Master Chief.
Right.
I like it. I like the gunfire effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool effect.
Pew pew.
Yes.
Oh, hey Jesse, it looks like George is in.
Hey, there he is. Yep.
Oh, yep.
George, what's happening, man?
Yep.
What's up, buddy?
I like the story on that one.
Yeah, this was really good.
Cool, yeah.
Good camera angle. I love get those little angles where you're looking up at the characters. Those are really, really good.
Yeah. My puppers just got out of our car because my wife just got home with her.
Oh, really? Okay.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. All right, that is the last of our images there.
Would you say that's the last of us?
See what he did there?
See, Jesse, Brian doesn't just have me on because of my stunning good luck.
Exactly. Impeccable wit and timing.
Yes.
It's all in the delivery.
Well, that's all the time that we have for today. Jesse, man, thanks so much for making an appearance here and giving your advice and just joining us during this time. So it's always just a joy to talk to you and a pleasure to have you, man. So yeah, thank you again for joining us. So for those of you who are not part of the group, why are you not part of the group? You got to come over and join in our Toytography magazine Facebook group. You can also, again, you can find out more information about the magazine at toytographymag.com. And you can also follow us on Instagram at Toytography_magazine. And that's what we got going on. You guys can, everybody enjoy, all the good food that y'all gonna have tomorrow, because oh my gosh, I am already got my mind going. Every time I open up my fridge, I'm like eyeballing, like Hey,
we got our first Facebook group request in here. Photo Viper wants to be added, so we'll go over and
nice. Wonderful.
Jesse, for me, it was an absolute pleasure to get to meet you. I got to read the article last time. I dropped my email in the private chat for you. So
good to know. Excellent.
What a great show tonight, Brian.
Yeah, I would say it was great. Nice turnout and everything. So again, thank you guys for joining in, and we will set up everything for next week as well. So thanks again for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All
All right.